How's it going? Mike O'Dowd, this is Rob Chadwick, and we're with USCCA. We're going to be talking about situational awareness at gas stations.
Accused of trying to steal a man's truck at a Wyandotte gas station.
To help catch the man who robbed her son as he was gassing up near the Oakland airport.
Confronted by an armed robber at this Oakland Park gas station.
Rob here is the Director of Training with USCCA, and he was in law enforcement for 30 years, 23 of that was in the FBI. Rob, I'm guessing you have a ton of experience with gas stations.
A lot of dispatches to gas stations over the year, and if you think about it, Mike, this is where humanity comes together, right? It's one of the few places where no matter who you are, you got to get gas. You see a lot of crime that happens at these. It's a crime of opportunity. It's very predictable. Anything that's predictable is exploitable. Something that I like to refer to as sort of the modern day watering hole, right?
Yeah.
In the wild, the predators wait for their victims, or the zebras or the antelope have to come drink. And just like that, humans have to come to the gas station at some point. They've always got their wallet, and they've always got something that's pretty valuable to take away.
About 7,000 incidents happen per year at gas stations alone. When you factor in convenience stores as well, that number doubles. Something that's pretty interesting is about 85% of those incidents that happen at the gas stations involve robbing people for cash. The average sum is about $750 worth of goods. What we want to do is give you guys some tips and tricks to keep you safe and your families whenever you come to the watering hole, and give you a little bit more situational awareness, what to look for. Once the pump is inside the vehicle, you are kind of stuck here, and anyone who's watching you knows that you've got money because you're going to pay for gas, and you might have valuables inside the car. So the worst thing you could do, the absolute worst thing, and it's probably the number one thing that everyone tends to do, is this. They zone out, they pull out their phone, and they start playing around. While you're at the pump, put the phone away, because that's the number one thing that gets people caught up. If you watch these videos, people are in their phone, they're not suspecting, and they get walked up on. And the problem is, right now, we're in a space, we're in a fatal funnel, where if somebody were to walk in, like Robert to walk in on me right now, I have really no way to go. But if I can see him from 25 yards away, I can actually use this vehicle as a shield, and I can walk around it. I can use the shield to block me from any potential threats. But once somebody's right here, it's game over. So put the phone away, and keep your head on your shoulders.
Yeah, Mike, the thing with having your head in your phone or just not paying, a lot of times these gas stations will have these, TVs that want you to watch. It's all about getting your attention, right? And time and distance in any emergency is your friends. And if your head is here and you're not paying attention, that's going to rob you of that few seconds it might take to perceive, all right, the situation's changing.
Another thing people do all the time, they've got these keys with them, and because they think they're just getting right out of their car, they leave this key inside the vehicle. When you have the key inside the car, it changes the game. Now, instead of having to rob you of your person, unlock the car and get in, somebody just needs to get inside the car. And most likely it's going to be unlocked because your keys are inside of it. So it makes it very, very simple for somebody to just take your car and everything in it, including your kids if they're in there. So first thing, always take the key out of the car with you. Lock the car the moment you get out.
A couple things to think about. A lot of cars will have a feature where you hit the unlock button and unlocks all the doors. That's usually a really bad idea. So go in, figure out how to change that feature where one press of the button only unlocks the driver's door.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you want to do is open the door for the other guy who gets in and carjacks you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing too, if you end up getting robbed, right? Someone comes up to you, give you your keys, your wallet. The immediate decision is absolutely, unless there's a child or a loved one in that car, the car can be replaced, everything in the wallet be replaced. I'm going to separate myself. I'm going to throw the keys, throw the wallet, and I'm going the opposite direction. Yeah. That decision's already been made.
Absolutely. That's something we want to stress at home. Even though we preach training to fight back, situational awareness is about preventing the threat from coming at you. When the threat is at you, that's a totally different action.
Yeah, one thing I'll add there, Mike, situational awareness obviously is super important, but it also has to be paired with decision making, right? You must have made, and I like to operate on what I call pre-made decisions. If this happens, I'm going to do this. It doesn't take me time to process and make that decision. I already know what I'm going to do, right? So empower yourself to leave that gas station, right? Hang up that gas pump even though you're only 2 or 3 gallons in. Decide, you know what, things don't look quite right here. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to wait and see what's developing. That intuition is telling me maybe not the right time. I might have made a mistake here. I'm going to act decisively and act quickly. And again, stealing back that time to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, absolutely. When talking about situational awareness at a gas station, it's not just the pump, it's not just at your vehicle itself. People use the services and the amenities of the service station itself. So bathrooms, for instance, right? You've got some experience with this, like things happening while you were on duty?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of times people, especially on a long road trip, try to combine, right? They'll get some gas, run in, get something to eat, maybe use the bathroom. Talk about a vulnerable position, especially at a smaller station where maybe it's just a 1 or 2 stall, you know, area.
Yeah.
I've had several people that have been, you know, going in to use the bathroom, turn around, there's a guy standing there with a gun, right? They know exactly what you're doing. You're very isolated, especially again in a small station or a small isolated, you know, if you're going to do that, try to pick a one with multiple pumps and lots of people, lots of activity, much less likely to be separated and victimized. But like in nature, right? You don't want to be that one zebra that wanders off from the pack.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. And again, very, very predictable. What is predictable is exploitable.
On that, when you go to the restroom, if you have multiple people in your vehicle, you know, something that can really help is going in waves. So you leave one person at the vehicle, you go to the restroom, you go with another person, kind of overlapping. So you always have eyes on the car. And then, you know, if you follow Rob's idea of staying in a crowded place, it'll be safer when you go inside as well. So if you notice, all of these tips were given out, whether it's from keeping your head out of your phone, keeping the key on you, going to the bathroom and kind of pair like an overlapping buddy system. All of this comes down to situational awareness, planning and preparing before you go out and do something.
Yeah, Mike, one of the things I like to remind people about, you know, I did a lot of work on protection details with armored vehicles and lots of armed agents, lots of firepower, but we would never allow that to dictate us going into an unsafe situation, right?
Yeah.
Those things are always just there as a last resort, right? Don't, because you have a gun or because you have a CWP, don't think that gives you the authority or hey, I'm going to be safe because I have a gun. That gun is just as a fallback. Right? Always plan ahead, always look for the safe, crowded, well-lit place to get your gas. You're going to be, by definition, in a compromised position. Very predictable where you're going to be standing, very predictable that you have your you know, some cash or some money, your wallet certainly. Don't think that because I'm armed or because I'm good at jiu-jitsu that I can go into danger. Always avoid that. The true professionals do.
So as you can see, the most important piece of all of this is just keeping your head up and aware. Stay out of your phone, those 5s and 25s, keeping situationally aware is going to be the best defense above anything else.
Hey, before you go, make sure you check out the free giveaway that USCCA has going on right now. The link is below in the description where you can get all the details on how you can enter.